Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be fitting up this 10 gauge, also known as 1/8 of an inch thick body panel that we had Stillwater Steel, my local fab shop, break just means bend, to match this 2022 Ford. My name's Austin Ross. I've been a welder since high school. I'm 33 now. Went to Votech my junior and senior year of high school for welding. Worked at a fab shop, Stillwater Steel, which is who bent these panels for us. Worked there for 3 years. That's where I got tons of my welding experience, my start to my real world welding experience. And that's actually how I recommend getting started pipeline welding for those of you that ask the question, because we do get that question quite often here on the YouTube channel. The answer to how do I get started pipelining, or how do I get into pipelining, is to get welding experience. Welding school or going to work for somebody else. Stillwater Steel was a very entry-level welding job, so it was a great place for me to get experience. Not only was it a great place for me to get welding experience right out of high school, it was also a great place to have connections to because of their brake press, their roller, that's how I got these radiuses rolled, their burn table. In another video of this series, we built this trunk for this welding bed, and I had them burn out the trunk itself. There should be a playlist here on the channel where you can find other videos of this bed build series, the trunk being one of them. So not only was I able to get welding experience by going to work for Stillwater Steel, but ever since I worked there and while I was working there, I have used them to make my work better, that I turn out my door for my customers. When it comes to custom fabrication, because of my connection to them, I'm able to make a better product. So thank you, Stillwater Steel, for your brake press, your burn table, your shear, and the welding experience. Thank you. If you're new to the channel, I wanted to let you know about our online store, arosswelding.com. We carry a few welding tools, as well as the thin soapstone that I've used quite a bit on this project, and I use literally all the time. I like it because I don't have to sharpen it. Super handy, and it's brass, so that's pretty cool. So I've built 2 beds before this one. This bed here is for a customer. The first bed I built, it was straight side up here. It did not match the cab, and the bed that's on my truck now, it does match the cab. The thing I like about matching the cab is it obviously looks better. The thing that is not so good about it is whenever you switch welding trucks, you either got to build a new bed or bathtub it for a while, or modify the bed that you have now by taking off this panel and putting on one that matches, or just drive around with it not matching. There's several different options, but I just wanted to mention that for those of you that maybe you're just not getting into the industry. The thing that I like about a straight-sided bed is the fact that it's universal. Just something to think about. I've met older guys that have pipelined for years, and they've had the same bed for a really long time, and it's got straight sides on it, and they just move it to each truck. They build it nice and heavy, like I'm doing this one, you know, 1/4 inch, 3/16. The only reason this panel isn't 3/16 is because Stillwater Steel, with their certain brake press, they couldn't get this body line in anything thicker than 10 gauge. But anyway, like I was saying, I've met guys that have had the same bed, heavy built. They'll take it off in between jobs, sandblast it, paint it, and they move it to truck to truck to truck. So me personally, I love that idea from a practical standpoint and from a business standpoint, but the custom fabrication guy in myself likes building new beds and likes them to match, because I mean, they just look good. So just wanted to throw that in there for a fun little fact from my experience and guys that I've worked around. All right, so the first thing that I did to fit this panel up is I used my 2 mini jack stands, my Sumner fold-up jack stands, and set them underneath the panel. Used this adjustable torpedo level. I set it on the frame of the truck, adjusted this bubble here till it was level, and then I moved it to the top of the panel like so, and then I adjusted my shorty jack stands to get it level. And then I stepped back and looked at it from the front of the truck, from the back of the truck, down low, up high, made sure our body lines were lining up as good as possible. And then I marked out for our fender the same way we did the rear quarter panel back here. Again, you can reference the playlist of the videos in this build series. I believe that video is titled something along the lines of maximize your toolbox space. but you can see me marking the front quarter panel the same way right here. Once I got it marked to go around the fender, I took my panel and laid it down on some jack stands, cut it out with my torch for the fender. While it was over there, I went ahead and trimmed it down to, to the proper height. And then I also angled this front of our panel right here. That way it wraps around this new cab a little better. I did not do that on my truck and I regretted it highly. There's a lot of things I regretted because I got in a hurry on my truck, but on this one it does, you can't hardly tell looking at it here, but I did put a little angle on it. So I went ahead and did that while it was over there. Cleaned it all up, and then I brought it back over, set it in our mini jack stands. Eyeballed it again from the front of the truck, from the back of the truck. I made sure everything was good to go, lining up good. And then finally, we put a couple of tacks on it. And that is pretty well it. Pretty basic, but a pretty tedious situation, and a situation I highly recommend taking your time on because it is the vocal point of a bed like this. Whenever you're matching your body lines to your brand new pickup and you're building a custom bed like this, this is like one of the biggest areas that I would focus on and I would take your time the most on, is because everybody is going to be looking at your body lines. And it's not as hard as you think to line up your body lines, because you could be off, an 1/8 of an inch up or down, and most likely you're not going to notice. And most people are, yay tall. They're going to be looking down at it. To actually see if your body line is off, they would have to get down like so. Did the same thing on the passenger side. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you're new around here, check out our website, arosswelding.com. And if you want to get notified whenever we have a sale in our store, you can text the word shop to 405-643-7176, and we'll send out a text whenever we have a sale going on, or if we get a new product in the store. For those of you that text and said you were interested in the brass spacing band, depending on when this video goes up, it may or may not be up for pre-sale yet or up for sale yet. But if it's not, the plan as of current day, whenever I'm filming this, is to put them up for pre-sale on the website. That way we can gauge how many people actually want one and will actually buy one, and we know how many to get made. If we keep getting good feedback about them and the price is right, then we will carry them in the Ross Welding store. If texting isn't your thing and you would rather use email, you can get on our email list at arosswelding.com also, and we will send out the same notifications on our email list also. And this goes for any notifications, not just sales in the store, but whenever the pipe fence course opens for enrollment, or whenever we add a new course to the Ross Welding Trade School website, arosswelding.school. Anything we're doing around here, you'll get notified. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, learn something every day.